I'm here representing a technology and applications vendor, which you probably know. It's called Oracle, and we're venturing in the blockchain world via our cloud solutions and our on-premise solutions for the last 3 or 4 years, but we've just released our cloud service in July 2018. So I'm going to use all 15 minutes to give you an idea, after we see the safe harbor statements from a big vendor, of where we're going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about basically very quickly that we see the traction at the enterprise world investing on blockchain solutions. We observe the research and we see what's going on with worldwide spending, but what is more important is that in the last 2 years, especially in 2018, we've reached this inflection point where we've seen amazing ideas which stay in writing, turned into POCs, and now into pilot projects, and now they're going into actual implementations, which is very important. And it's not just Oracle that is working towards this goal, there's other vendors as well. And how money is spent and how projects are developed is very crucial to us, because we're closely looking at what are the blockchain use cases out there that are really attracting attention. This is not stuff that Oracle says, this is what the market is doing right now. So in the 2019 Deloitte survey about the blockchain adoption, data validation, data access and sharing, the digital identity issue and the identity management of digital identities is of paramount importance. I hear it from every different industry, from healthcare to banks to governments and so on. The World Economic Forum in July 2019 showed this really interesting, there's a big survey called Building Value with Blockchain, but I was really attracted to see, okay, let's see all the industries and let's see what their focus is. So if you look on the left, these are top advantages per industry regarding blockchain, and if you see horizontally, you'll see what is the most important for each industry from top to bottom. And the technology is actually what's driving this adoption and what these benefits mean. So without going into detail about what blockchain is, I mean, in decentralized, I take it that most of us know more or less what the technology does. The cryptographic proof of trust, the shared source of truth, the tamper-evident transition history, all these really cool things and really important things and technologies that came in since 10 years ago with the advent of Bitcoin, for which I'm going to say nothing, and I'm not going to talk about cryptocurrencies, because there's the cryptocurrencies world, and then there's this entire universe of blockchain technology applications that are not just about payments and cryptocurrencies. So as a technology vendor and having the cloud in mind always, we wanted to provide a solution, a platform, for which to build blockchain solutions that extend enterprise boundaries. And as a technology company, data integrity is very important. The fact that the process integrity and the most difficult thing of all, which is to get different entities to sit down and agree on a consensus that will then be translated into programmable code for which no one can disagree afterwards, and even if you do, you'll be audited heavily, and this is not allowed. The high availability, reliability, and durability. I hear things about blockchain is really cool, but can it scale? Is it secure? And all these things. The blockchain technology ecosystem benefits are really important. And from, yes, I'd like to try it, to actually I have a project which I want to use this technology, that kind of road is being fastly driven as we speak. Now, please allow me to explain a couple of things about the fact that we have the public blockchain model, see Bitcoin, and then we have the enterprise focus, which is also Oracle's focus, which is about private permissioned blockchains in consortium modes, in hybrid modes, and so on. And this is where we operate. We have launched our service last July 2018 based on Hyperledger Fabric, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. We have more than 150 customers which are actively using the technology. About 1/4 of this number is actually in production blockchains. And this is an easily digested view of use cases that are actual projects or live implementations. And this is, if you go to cloud.oracle.com, you'll see our digital transformation chapter, this is amazing because what started as an issue from the previous recession went into a full-blown application world where different industries really need to use the technologies. And this is a very, very busy slide because it just shows active projects or rollouts that are taking place in financial services, supply chain, public sector, and healthcare. We have many customer examples in supply chain, tokenizations, pharmaceuticals, shipping, maritime shipping documentation exchange, and so on. And we have a very skilled group of partners and ISVs like Neurosoft, which is in Greece, a leader in invoice factoring, which has built a solution on Oracle blockchain platform, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, or Norblock, which are leaders in the KYC area. Again, why should I go to a different bank and then have to resubmit everything again? And what if we are part of a consortium of banks, like the pilot project that we did in Cyprus with 2 Cypriot banks, where we could test this using blockchain? A classic example for which, if you look around, a consumer at the other side of the Atlantic picks up a bottle of Bellucci olive oil from Italy, scans a QR code, and the whole life cycle from the minute that the actual the lot of the olives before it got pressed went on. And if you go to the BBC, if you get my presentation, you can click and see the video and the article. How do you know where your olive oil comes from? Confirm is the invoice reconciliation solution built on Oracle blockchain platform by Neurosoft, our first and most experienced partner using the solution, which basically gives accounting offices across industries a better solution to dealing with receivables and invoices. And these are the accounting advantages that they enjoy with the technology below. So notarization, clearing and settlement, transparent real-time data, and so on. Here we are. So, cross-border payments. Arab Jordanian Investment Bank, branches between different countries of the same bank. They decided, okay, we don't want to wait, we don't want to pay SWIFT, we can change it, and we can just use a platform that actually brings these benefits that you see on the left. A 2-month pilot went live in February 2019. They're adding more banks as we speak, but basically from a mobile or web banking, you can go and transfer money immediately between different entities. A very big project in Asia that has to do with maritime shipping documentation, which costs a tremendous amount of money into different companies around the world. With the current issues that you see there, has formed a consortium with shipping operators, ports, and so on, where we have a blockchain-enabled document exchange. There is a baseline of this, and different applications are built on top. We have great consortium experience right now, majorly because of Global Shipping Business Network. As you see on the right, there's 6 ocean carriers, 5 terminal operators. In the summer, the total was altogether 9. The dangerous goods declarations is the first application that came up. And now, as far as I'm concerned, because you see Costco shipping lines there, the Piraeus container terminal in the next few months is going to join this network as the first port outside Asia that will be part of this solution. But with Oracle Consulting and our partners Neurosoft, we're building an import delivery order validation solution with the same platform. And we didn't just give them the downloads and we said, okay, good luck, and if you need something, we'll get support to solve the bugs. We were actively participating at regional level with prototyping, setting up the framework with them, and so on. Why did they choose us? Because this was a quite big project, because we did very fast 12-week sprints with these gains in productivity and time saving, and consequently money. And the company that runs this is CargoSmart AI, which is an award-winning company around innovations. Government, very important. Actually, we're very important at state level, also at healthcare level. We are doing various different things behind curtains right now where we're trying to set up major projects because the benefits are great, especially for digital identity, and healthcare is something that we're already actively working with. New projects including electronic healthcare record consolidation and consensus management using Oracle blockchain platform, currently prototyping at a big medical group in Athens with Neurosoft as well. Major Greek bank is going to start a project in the next couple of weeks about API access validation. So every API that the bank is rolling out for any company to use, they want another layer that is powered by blockchain to validate the access to these APIs. One word about electronic healthcare record. The previous presentation from Cyprus was amazing. The consensus management for patients, I think, should be a top priority, both socially and in the business world. We are dealing with a couple of hospitals, doctors and patients, but this is the overall picture that we want to pitch at the government level, because you could bring in insurance companies and providing settlements in the same life cycle that we were talking earlier on. This is something that we're heavily investing, and right now we're dealing with 2 hospitals and their patients, but we're going to expand it and make announcements very soon. So all this, in the last 3 minutes that I have, is powered by what we call Oracle Blockchain Platform, based on Oracle, Hyperledger Fabric, which is just this left side, which is basically the engine. But you need to bring in, if you're just using Fabric, you need to bring in all the rest that you see below, which we do for you. So when you acquire blockchain cloud service, you don't spend 6 weeks setting it up. You provision and you start your work by devising your network, instantiating your chain code, using your channels, which is one of the main reasons we chose Hyperledger Fabric, because it's a strong foundation for permissioned and private blockchains, and this is what we used. All these things on the left are huge accelerators, and basically, if you want to see what the architecture looks like, is basically a foundation on Hyperledger Fabric. Major, I heard earlier, okay, you bring in a blockchain application, but can it integrate with the ecosystem of the enterprise? Very, very important thing. So if you don't have a solution with strong integration capabilities, this is an issue. We can extend the functionality and combine with every Oracle or non-Oracle world and provision cloud or on-premise with the same console where you have access to your network and you see everything there and you build your apps on top of it. And in August, we wanted to see, okay, the cloud is okay. What about if we combine cloud and on-premise? And what about data sovereignty issues and stronger security mandates and this regulation umbrella that is always hanging over us? So we deployed the same thing that we have in the cloud on-premise. And because of our next generation cloud infrastructure, now we cover every scenario in our cloud data centers or in customer data centers or on-premise solutions with pure Fabric, because it's just plug and play with our own, or our own enterprise edition. So we have an ecosystem of custom apps that are built. We have SIs and solution accelerators. We are now providing pure apps on blockchain. Track and trace is one, cold chain is another one. We announced track and trace and cold chain on Oracle Open World, and ISV applications from all our partners. And you can see below the whole infrastructure, whether you deploy on cloud or on premise. I made it 30 seconds before my time. Thank you very much. And if you want, we can have the questions offline so I don't waste the time from the next speaker. Thank you very much.
Both options. So once again, thank you very much.